da blant, sut wyt ti heddiw? How are you today? I hope you are all keeping safe and that you're all well. I know we're really looking forward to seeing you all back in school soon when it's safe to do so. I've got a really nice story for you today. The story I'm going to read today is all about Gelert. But I thought we would start with singing Sosban Fach. I'll just go over the words first of all. Mae bys Marianne wedi brifo, a Dafydd y Gwas ddim yn iach. Mae'r baban yn y cryd yn crio, a'r gath wedi sgramo Johnny bach. Sosban fach yn berwi ar y tân, sosban fawr yn berwi ar y llawr, a'r gath wedi sgramo Johnny bach. Dau bach y soldiwr, dau bach y soldiwr, dau bach y soldiwr, a chwt ei gris e mas. Siwd gris oedd ganddo, siwd gris oedd ganddo, siwd gris oedd ganddo, un gwyn a streipen las. Are we ready to sing? Barod? Our story is called Brave Gelert, and I have Seren a Spark have come to listen to. Dyma Seren, dyma'r Spark. They came to visit us in school a while back. So here's the story. Prince Llewellyn, the Prince of Wales, kept many hunting dogs at his castle, but his favourite of all was Gelert. Gelert loved his master in return, and he followed him everywhere. He was a strong, brave dog, and if any of Llewellyn's enemies were about, he would stick by his master's side. Yet Gelert was a very gentle dog and a faithful pet to Llewellyn and his family. So while the other dogs were sent outside at night to sleep in their kennels, Gelert was allowed to stay by the fireside with Llewellyn, his wife, and their darling baby son. One morning, Llewellyn was getting ready to go riding with some of his friends. He was calling Gelert and there was no sign of him. Gelert, Gelert, ble mae'r ci na? Where's the dog? He went running from one room to another. Yn yr ystafell y molchi? Na, dim yn yr ystafell y molchi. Yn y gegen? Na, dim yn y gegen. Yn y lolfa? Na, dim yn y lolfa. By this time he was starting to get cross. Not wishing to waste any more time, he left the castle in a temper. It was the one and only time he felt Gelert had let him down. Llewellyn thought he'd searched the whole castle, but he'd forgotten one room. If he'd looked, he would have found Gelert in the nursery. Gelert had gone to check that the baby prince was okay. The baby's mother had asked the maid to look after him while she went out for a walk, but she was so busy downstairs she'd forgotten all about him. And Gelert knew that he couldn't leave the baby alone, and he refused to move from the baby's side. Nobody could have been guarding the castle very well that morning because a huge grey wolf had sneaked in and was already climbing the stairs. The wolf was very hungry. There was very little food left in the hills. He sniffed the air and he licked his lips. There was a delicious smell of something good to eat nearby. Now what was it? The wolf entered the room where Llewellyn and his family had eaten their breakfast that morning. There were leftovers still on the table. Roinhoffy sausage, the wolf thought to himself, and he gobbled up half a sausage. Roinhoffy oy, and he ate the egg. Roinhoffy toast and marmalade. Oh, I like toast and marmalade, and he ate that too. Then he smelt something even more delicious. He put his head around the nursery door and saw what he'd been sniffing out, the baby lying asleep in the cot. Blassus yawn, very tasty, he muttered. But just as he crept in, Gelert appeared before him, blocking his way to the baby. The wolf snarled. He wasn't scared of the dog, and he'd kill him as well if he had to. He leapt at Gelert's throat, and the two of them began to fight frantically. The wolf ripped at Gelert's sides with sharp claws, but Gelert was stronger than the wolf had thought, and he fought back bravely. Strangely, no one heard the awful noise, and as they rolled over and over on the floor, they banged against the cot and knocked it over. But the baby gave one cry, turned over, and went back to sleep. After a while, the animals were exhausted. They backed away from each other, panting. Then the wolf gave one last mighty leap. As quick as lightning, Gelert caught him between his jaws and threw him to the ground. The wolf was dead, and